Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today, this small penny could be hiding in your pocket right now, and most people have no idea it can be worth far more than just 1 cent. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history, the 2009 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but can turn into a collector's treasure if you know what to look for. The year 2009 was not just any year for US coins. It marked the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent design, making it a historic moment for coin collectors all around the world. To celebrate this, the United States Mint released 4 different reverse designs for the Lincoln penny, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life, and the 2009 D Mint mark tells us this coin was struck in Denver, adding another layer of collectible interest. Now here's where things start to get exciting. Unlike regular pennies you see every day, these 2009 D coins were produced in slightly lower quantities compared to some earlier years, and collectors quickly began pulling them out of circulation, which means fewer high-quality examples are available today, but not all 2009 D Lincoln pennies are equal, and this is where smart collectors pay attention very carefully. The real value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and most importantly, errors. Let's talk about condition first because this is critical. If your 2009 D penny is worn out, scratched, or dull, it will likely only be worth a small premium over face value. But if you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition with sharp details, strong luster, and no visible wear, now you're stepping into collectible territory. Collectors love coins that look brand new, as if they just came out of the mint, and these coins can command much higher prices in the market. Now let's move into the most thrilling part. Mint errors, the hidden goldmine of coin collecting. Errors are what turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds, and the 2009 D Lincoln penny is known to have several types that collectors hunt for aggressively. One of the most valuable errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin design is accidentally stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a visible doubling effect on letters or numbers. If you notice doubling on Liberty, the date, or Lincoln's features, you might be holding a very rare piece. Another exciting error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Then there are die cracks and die chips, which may sound like damage but are actually mint-made errors. These appear as raised lines or bumps on the coin and can add unique character that collectors love. And don't forget about clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin is literally missing due to a cutting error at the mint. These are rare and highly collectible. Now imagine finding one of these error coins in your spare change. It's like discovering hidden treasure in plain sight. Another factor that boosts value is grading. Coins that are professionally graded at very high levels are worth significantly more. A coin graded in near-perfect condition can sell for many times more than a regular ungraded coin. Collectors often look for coins with strong eye appeal, clean surfaces, bright shine, and sharp details, because these stand out in collections and auctions. Let's also talk about the different 2009 reverse designs because each one tells a story of Lincoln's life, from his early childhood to his presidency. Some designs are slightly more sought after than others depending on demand and availability, making it even more interesting for collectors to hunt them all. The excitement of collecting coins like the 2009 D Lincoln penny comes from the possibility, the idea that something so small and common could actually be worth a surprising amount of money. People all over the world check their coins daily hoping to find that one rare piece that changes everything, and here's the truth, these coins are still out there. They are still being found in circulation, coin rolls, and old collections, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to discover them. So next time you see a penny, don't ignore it, inspect it carefully, because you might be holding something special without even realizing it. Now let's talk about the real numbers that everyone is waiting for. A regular circulated 2009 D Lincoln penny is typically worth around 1 cent to a few cents depending on condition. An uncirculated example with strong details can sell for around $1 to $5 in today's market. High-grade certified coins can reach values between $10 to $50 depending on quality and demand. Error coins, especially double die or off-center strikes, can sell for $50 to several $100s depending on the severity and visibility of the error. And the most exceptional high-grade error coins have reached auction prices of several $100s to over $1,000 in rare cases. That's right, a single penny turning into hundreds or even over $1,000 just because of rarity, condition, and mint errors. This is why collectors always say, never underestimate a penny. Top 2, today, what if the penny sitting quietly in your drawer right now is actually worth far more than 1 cent, and almost no one around you even realizes it? Today we are uncovering the hidden story of the 1962 Lincoln penny, a coin that may look simple and common, but for collectors and smart treasure hunters, it can hold surprising value and rare opportunities. Back in 1962, the United States Mint was producing millions of pennies for everyday circulation, and at first glance, nothing about this coin seems unusual. But here's the truth that excites collectors: within these mintages, there are hidden varieties, rare conditions, and mint errors that can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. The 1962 Lincoln penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been loved and recognized for generations. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic wheat ears design was already replaced by the Lincoln Memorial, giving this coin a modern look for its time and connecting it to a new era of American coinage. Now here's where things start getting interesting. The 1962 penny was minted in 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver coins carrying the small D mint mark. While both are common in circulated condition, collectors pay very close attention to coins in exceptional condition or with unique characteristics. One of the biggest factors that separates an ordinary 1962 penny from a valuable one is condition. Most pennies from this year have been heavily circulated, meaning they show wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. But if you manage to find one in bright red uncirculated condition, with full mint luster and sharp details, you are already holding something far more desirable. Collectors use terms like red, red-brown, and brown to describe the color and preservation of copper coins, and this makes a huge difference in value. A fully red coin that has been preserved for decades without losing its shine is significantly rarer and more valuable than a dark, worn example. Now let's talk about the real treasure factor: mint errors, the exciting mistakes that collectors dream of finding. One of the most talked about errors for the 1962 Lincoln penny is the double die error. This happens when the design is struck more than once in slightly different positions, causing noticeable doubling on the lettering or numbers. If you see clear doubling on Liberty or the date, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than face value. Another fascinating error is the repunched mint mark, especially on Denver coins. This occurs when the D mint mark was stamped more than once, leaving a visible shadow or doubling effect. These varieties are subtle, but experienced collectors know exactly what to look for and are willing to pay a premium for them. Off-center strikes are another exciting category. These coins were not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is shifted off-center. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable and eye-catching the coin becomes. You may also come across die cracks and die breaks, which appear as raised lines or unusual shapes on the coin. While they might look like damage at first, they are actually mint-created features that make each coin unique and collectible. And then there are planchet errors, coins that were struck on improperly prepared metal blanks. These can include clipped edges or unusual shapes, making them stand out instantly to collectors. But here's something many beginners don't realize: even without errors, a 1962 penny in extremely high grade can still be worth a surprising amount. Coins that have been professionally graded at near-perfect levels are rare because very few have survived in such pristine condition for over 60 years. Collectors compete for these high-grade coins in auctions, driving prices higher due to demand and scarcity. The thrill of searching through old coin jars, rolls, and collections comes from this exact possibility: finding a hidden gem that everyone else overlooked. Imagine going through a handful of old pennies and suddenly spotting one with a bright red shine, sharp details, and maybe even a visible error. That moment is what makes coin collecting so addictive and exciting, and the best part is, these coins are still out there. They are hiding in circulation, passed down in collections, or forgotten in drawers, waiting for someone curious enough to take a closer look. So the next time you come across a 1962 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside, examine it carefully, because you might be holding something far more valuable than you think. now let's talk about the real market values that collectors are paying today. A typical circulated 1962 Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 cent to 5 cents depending on condition. A nice uncirculated example can sell for around $1 to $5 in the current market. Bright red high-grade coins can reach values between $10 to $50 depending on quality and grading. Coins with repunched mint marks or minor errors can sell for $20 to over $100 depending on visibility and demand. Strong double die or off-center error coins can range from $100 to several $100s, and in rare cases, exceptional high-grade or major error coins have sold at auction for several $100s to over $1,000. Top 3. Today, there's a good chance you have seen this coin before, maybe even ignored it, but what if I told you that a simple 1966 Lincoln penny could secretly be worth far more than 1 cent and most people never even notice it? Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1966 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks completely ordinary at first glance but hides layers of rarity, history, and potential value that collectors absolutely love. The year 1966 was a very unusual time in United States coin history, because during this period, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins entirely to discourage hoarding, which means every 1966 penny you see does not carry a mint mark at all, making it a unique one-year identity that instantly stands out to collectors who understand its background. This small detail might seem unimportant to beginners, but experienced collectors know that coins from special minting periods like this often carry hidden premiums, especially when found in exceptional condition. The design of the 1966 Lincoln penny continues the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had already become a symbol of American coinage by that time, making it both historically meaningful and visually recognizable. Now here's where things begin to get exciting. While millions of these coins were produced, most of them entered heavy circulation, meaning truly high-quality examples are much harder to find today. Condition is everything in coin collecting, and the difference between a worn-out penny and a pristine one can be massive. If your 1966 penny is dull, scratched, and heavily used, it will likely remain close to face value, but if you find one with strong luster, smooth surfaces, and sharp details, you could be holding a much more valuable piece. Collectors especially hunt for coins that still retain their original red color, because copper coins naturally darken over time, and preserving that bright red shine for decades is extremely rare and highly desirable. But the real thrill begins when we talk about mint errors. Because this is where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary discoveries. One of the most exciting errors found on 1966 Lincoln pennies is the double die variety. This error creates a visible doubling effect on the letters or numbers, and if you spot clear doubling on words like Liberty or the date, you could be looking at a coin worth significantly more than normal. Another fascinating error is the die crack or die break, which appears as raised lines or unusual shapes on the coin's surface. These are caused by worn or damaged dies at the mint, and instead of reducing value, they often make the coin more collectible because each one is unique. Off-center strikes are also highly sought after, where the design appears shifted due to improper alignment during minting. Coins with dramatic off-center designs can attract strong attention from collectors and command impressive prices. You might also encounter clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to a cutting error before the coin was struck. These pieces are instantly noticeable and highly collectible, and then there are coins struck on the wrong planchet, an extremely rare type of error where a penny is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another coin. These are some of the most valuable finds and can reach astonishing prices when verified. What makes the 1966 Lincoln penny even more interesting is that because there are no mint marks, collectors rely entirely on condition and errors to determine value, making the hunt even more exciting and challenging. Imagine going through your old coins and suddenly finding a bright red 1966 penny with a visible doubling or an off-center strike. That moment of discovery is what every coin collector dreams of. This is why coin enthusiasts always say never ignore your pennies, because hidden treasures are often found in the most unexpected places. Even today, people are still discovering valuable 1966 pennies in circulation, coin rolls, and inherited collections, proving that these coins are still out there waiting to be found. So the next time you come across a 1966 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check the details, examine the surface, and don't rush, because one careful could turn a simple coin into a valuable collectible. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market. A regular circulated 1966 Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 cent to 3 cents depending on its condition. An uncirculated example with decent luster can sell for around $1 to $4. A bright red high-grade coin can reach values between $10 to $40 depending on quality and grading. Coins with minor errors like die cracks or small varieties can sell for $20 to $100 depending on visibility. Strong double die or off-center error coins can range from $100 to several $100s, and rare high-grade or major error coins have been known to sell at auction for several $100s to over $1,000. That's the power hidden inside a single penny from 1966, a coin that most people overlook, but collectors know could be worth far more than it seems. Top 4. Today, there's a very high chance that you have seen this coin before, maybe even passed it by without a second thought, but what if that simple 1967 Lincoln penny in your collection is actually hiding a surprising value that most people completely overlook? Today we're going deep into the story of the 1967 Lincoln penny, a coin that may look ordinary on the surface but carries a unique place in United States coin history, and for collectors, it can become a truly exciting and valuable find. The year 1967 falls right in the middle of a very unusual period when the United States Mint removed mint marks from coins to prevent collectors from hoarding them, which means just like 1965 and 1966, the 1967 penny comes with no mint mark at all, making it instantly recognizable to those who understand this special era. At first glance, millions of these coins were produced, so it might seem like there's nothing rare here, but this is exactly where most people make a mistake, because rarity in coin collecting is not just about how many were made, it's about how many survived in exceptional condition and with unique features. The design of the 1967 Lincoln penny continues the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A design that had already become a symbol of American heritage and remains one of the most recognized coin designs ever created. Now let's talk about what really matters: condition, because this is where value begins to separate dramatically. Most 1967 pennies you find today are heavily circulated, meaning they show wear, scratches, discoloration, and a dull appearance, and these coins usually remain very close to their face value. But if you happen to find a coin that still shines with its original red luster, with crisp details and minimal marks, then you are stepping into a completely different category of value that collectors actively search for. Copper coins naturally change color over time, turning brown or red-brown, so finding a fully red 1967 penny after decades is actually much rarer than most people realize. Now here comes the most exciting part of this journey: mint errors, the hidden secrets that can transform a simple penny into a collector's dream. One of the most valuable and talked about errors is the double die variety, where the design appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you notice doubling on the date, lettering like Liberty, or even Lincoln's features, you could be holding a coin worth far more than expected. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin was not properly aligned when struck, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center effect, the more desirable the coin becomes. Die cracks and die breaks are also very popular among collectors, appearing as raised lines or unusual shapes caused by worn or damaged dies. These give each coin a unique fingerprint that collectors find incredibly interesting. Clipped planchets are another rare find, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting error before minting, making these coins instantly recognizable and highly collectible. Even more rare are wrong planchet errors, where a penny is struck on a blank intended for another denomination, creating a completely unusual and valuable coin that stands out in any collection. What makes the 1967 Lincoln penny even more exciting is that without mint marks, collectors must rely on condition and errors to determine value, which turns every coin search into a treasure hunt filled with possibilities. Imagine searching through a jar of old coins and suddenly spotting a bright red 1967 penny with sharp details or a visible error. That moment of discovery is what drives collectors to keep searching again and again. And here's the best part: these coins are still out there today, hiding in circulation, tucked away in old collections, or sitting unnoticed in drawers, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. So never underestimate a penny, because even the smallest coin can hold a big surprise if you know what to look for. Now let's finally talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market. A regular circulated 1967 Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 cent to 3 cents depending on condition. An uncirculated example can sell for around $1 to $4. A bright red high-grade coin can reach values between $10 to $50 depending on quality and grading. Coins with minor errors such as die cracks or small varieties can sell for $20 to $100 depending on visibility and collector interest. Strong double die or off-center error coins can range from $100 to several $100s. And rare high-grade or major error coins have been known to sell at auction for several $100s to over $1,000. That's the incredible hidden potential of the 1967 Lincoln penny, a coin that many ignore, but collectors know could be worth far more than it appears. Top 5. Today, there's a tiny coin that many people overlook every single day, yet it could be quietly sitting in your collection with a value far greater than 1 cent, and today we are uncovering the hidden story of the 1971 Lincoln penny that collectors are always watching for. At first glance, the 1971 Lincoln penny may look like just another common coin from everyday change, but once you start understanding its details, its minting history, and the rare features it can carry, you begin to realize why collectors never ignore coins like this. The D mint mark on this coin tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities responsible for producing millions of coins for circulation, and while the total mintage was high, the number of coins that survived in top condition is much lower, which is exactly where the value begins to rise. This coin continues the classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front, a symbol of American history and one of the most recognizable coin portraits ever created, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, connecting this small copper coin to a powerful national legacy. Now here's where things start to get interesting for collectors. Most 1971 pennies you find today are worn, scratched, and have lost their original shine due to decades of circulation, and these coins usually carry only minimal value above face. But if you happen to come across a 1971 penny that still shines with a bright red luster, sharp details, and very few marks, then you are looking at something much more desirable in the coin collecting world. Collectors classify these copper coins based on their color, such as brown, and full red, and the fully red coins are the most valuable because they have managed to preserve their original appearance for over 50 years. Now let's dive into the most exciting part, the mint errors, where ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures, one of the most talked about varieties. For the 1971 Lincoln penny is the double die error, where parts of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you spot clear doubling in the lettering like Liberty, the date, or even subtle details in Lincoln's portrait, this could significantly increase the coin's value. Another important variety is the repunched mint mark, where the D mint mark was struck more than once, creating a visible doubling or shadow effect. These are small details, but collectors pay close attention to them and are willing to pay higher prices for clear examples. Off-center strikes are also highly collectible, where the coin was not properly aligned when struck, causing part of the design to shift or be missing. The more dramatic the off-center effect, the more unique and valuable the coin becomes. Die cracks and die breaks are also fascinating to collectors, appearing as raised lines or unusual patterns caused by damaged dies at the mint, and instead of reducing value, these often make the coin more interesting and collectible. Clipped planchet errors are another rare and exciting discovery, where part of the coin is missing due to a cutting error before striking, making these coins stand out immediately, and in extremely rare cases, coins may be struck on the wrong planchet, creating a completely unusual piece that can attract serious attention from collectors and sell for impressive amounts. What makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so exciting is that it combines availability with the possibility of rare finds, meaning anyone can search for it, but only a few will discover the truly valuable examples. Imagine going through a handful of old coins and suddenly noticing a bright red 1971 penny with a sharp strike or a visible error. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors searching every single day. Even today, these coins are still found in circulation, coin rolls, and old collections, meaning the opportunity to find something valuable is still very real. So the next time you see a 1971 Lincoln penny, don't ignore it, take a closer look, examine the details, and check for anything unusual, because that small coin could hold a much bigger story. Now let's talk about the actual value that collectors are paying in today's market. A regular circulated 1971 D Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 cent to 3 cents depending on its condition. An uncirculated example can sell for around $1 to $4. A bright red high-grade coin can reach values between $10 to $50 depending on quality and grading. Coins with repunched mint marks or minor errors can sell for $20 to $100 depending on visibility and demand. Strong double die or off-center error coins can range from $100 to several $100s, and rare high-grade or major error coins have been known to sell at auction for several $100s to over $1,000. That's the hidden potential of the 1971 D Lincoln penny, a simple coin that most people overlook, but collectors know could be worth far more than it seems. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a single penny, because your next big discovery could already be in your pocket.